when I start the warm-up and I start to feel myself and I start to get my style going, that's when the confidence flies to the roof. That's when I'm confident that no one can beat me. You're the best in the world. You're the best in the world. You're the best in the world. Coaches are saying that, like, you're being surround sound that's being said to you. Like, oh, that's the best feeling ever when you're ready to go win that fight.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you with another great installment of the Grappling Hour. Today, we are on location, and we'll get back to that. And don't flex on them, bro. Bro, chill. All right, we're going to get to it.
I always want to clip my wings.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, why are you flexing on these hoes when, like, I haven't even introduced you yet? I do the little plugs first, then you can flex on them all you want.
All right, plug me.
All right, no, well, hold on. I'm plugging my shit first. So first and foremost, if you like this show or you just like that clip, whatever we just did, I would appreciate it if you guys go on over to patreon.com/grappling hour. For just $5 a month, you could see my interviews 30 days before anybody else. And if you want to pay a few extra bucks, you could see tape studies, breakdowns of matches and fights, maybe with somebody here. I don't know. We'll see if we're going to do one. And you can also check extra bonus content that's not available anywhere else. You can also see a segment where people roast my competition footage called Roast Raf. And we're doing a Road to ADCC where we're breaking down individual athletes and their way that they got to the big dance that's coming up this August. So we're going to do tape profile studies and a lot of habits and looking at what the great things that they do. So that is coming up very soon. You can see that only on the premium edition of the Grappling Hour Patreon. Other things to check out: like, comment, subscribe. If you don't know what you want to comment on by the end of this video, I'm sure you're going to have a lot to comment on, because my guy over here, look at this. I want to show you guys just so you can see it, okay? He's basically making sure that he's hydrated because he's got so much to say.
I'm so nervous, guys.
Why are you? You're not even nervous. Get the fuck out of here. You're not even nervous. Yeah, you get real shy. I forgot all about that. So go on over, like, comment, subscribe at Grappling Hour on the YouTube. We're also on Patreon. We're also on Apple Podcasts. We're also on Spotify. All of those places, that's for the free stuff. Also, you can join us on our Discord at Grappling Hour, etc., etc. Okay, let's get to our guest. You may recognize our guest as somebody who has won fights. Lots of them. In fact, one as recent at Cage Warriors recently again, and we are currently at his gym, the MMA Fight Academy, which you see the Cage Warriors insignia. I mean, look at this. You also see back here all of the greats from years past. And my man has owed me an interview. And, I had to chase him down. I had to come to his gym and stalk him out to get this interview. But we welcome back to the show very happily, one, Anthony Orozco. Sir, good to see you, sir.
Nice to see you.
Okay, let's start off with, the bad news first. So I came to your gym all the way here. And are we training today?
No, we're not training today.
Why is that, sir?
Because I train twice a day normally, and you were trying to catch me in between. But I'm focused on morning training and night training. I'm not focused on mama's milking you in the middle of that. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's kind of interesting that you have a particular submission that will never happen because you yourself will not do that. So this is the second time. First of all,
This is the RAF guard.
It's only because I've described it to you.
Wait, can you get mama's milk if you're doing this? Probably not. Yeah.
So you would have a very difficult time.
That's
and
true.
More importantly, you don't get to talk trash about any of this. Because I've come to your gym and been like, hey, bro, I'm here. And you're like, no, I need to eat my sushi that I bought from the local convenience store.
It was so gross.
Yeah, so why did you buy that sushi? Show the people what you bought.
Everyone recognizes this, right? This is the worst sushi. But I just had to do it. It was a quick stop. I was 15 minutes late. Raf was 45 minutes late. But hey.
Hold up.
No, he wasn't 45 minutes late. He took 45 minutes to set up.
That's better.
That's better.
But I was also making conversation with you.
We were talking. He was multitasking.
Absolutely.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I like that you're trying to throw me under the bus when I didn't say you were late.
I have to come for your neck first because I know I'm getting it later.
You can try whatever you want. I'm just telling you, you had the ability to beat me up. So now all of this is in my world.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. Grappling Hour. Tune in. Like he said, they're on Apple, they're on Spotify, they're on Discord, they're on Twitch.
Yeah, I'm on Twitch too.
He's on Twitch as well. Just wanted to give you your flowers, Ref.
That's very sweet.
Yeah,
look at
solid setup we got going on.
Thank you.
Excited to be here.
Thank you. So
excited to roast.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get roasted. I would love to see you try to do it to me. Do you have a joke for me, or do you have something? Just give me your best version of how you would roast me in the group chat, or just if we were rolling, because I just will never experience it because you just keep running away.
I don't really have a roast besides telling you that I'm gonna mama's milk you, but you already debunked that.
I already debunked that one. That one's out.
Yeah. So.
Is that the only move you have? I mean, I've seen you slap people, so I'm just wondering, what do you think you would beat me with if you didn't have the ability to like slap to open up the moves?
That's what I was thinking about. I was just thinking about how weak it is that you can get away with this and people talk about this. Because I was just thinking about how I would slap you. And honestly, like with most of the commoners that I roll with, I show them the looks now of punches and elbows. Because in my fights, like if you don't practice that, you're not going to have those tools, right? So I've been showing all the commoners. I've been putting them against the cage. I've been putting my hips in. I've been dropping shots. And
so yeah, you call these people commoners. I just say they're civilians. They're a little bit different. But I like that you go from the king to peasant route with them, where you're just kind of like, oh, I show these peasants what a good hip pressure is. I show these peasants how kind I am not to shoulder check them when I get them inside control.
I have a lot of names for him. I could call him NARPs, non-athletic regular person. They're civilians. They're commoners. Peasants, that's a new one.
We should also get into the fact that you need to probably be more careful with your language, because as I was prepping this, what happened here, sir?
Yeah, I was TikTok live-ing for the hour and a half that I was waiting for you to get set up.
Actually, hold on. I'm sorry. What time did you arrive?
2:15.
Okay. Are you sure it was 2:15?
2:15.
No, it wasn't.
Was it 2:19?
Definitely wasn't 2:19. You were later than that.
What was it?
I'll tell you when you're done telling me what happened.
All right, I'll cover my whatever the word is. 2:21 I showed up. So yeah, he's had 45 minutes. He did it quick. Either way, that's not what we're talking about. He asked me what I was doing while he was setting up. I was going TikTok live and I was having a fun old time doing it. Had 10 viewers, you know what I mean? Excited about that. The same thing that always happened. Some guy hit on me. He said, "Do I have a boyfriend?" And I said, what did I say? I said, no, I don't. And then I said, "I can smell the gay from here." Which now I know that's the wrong thing to say. You get banned on TikTok when you say that.
So apparently you're going to get a warning is what we found.
Oh, yeah.
So while I'm setting this stuff up, my guy's over here talking to people. And what I love is you got roasted by your own chat there, where people go, do something different. And I go, this is exactly what people are supposed to do on TikTok. You're just supposed to talk to people. I think this guy thought he's like, yeah, be different, do something different. And I go, why did you come to TikTok lives and expect anything different? So
you're talking about that?
No,
I brought up the boyfriend one.
I know, but I'm saying you're getting it left and right. And as a civilian in the talking world, you don't know tricks to engage and keep people yet. You are just like, hey, stay with me. You're basically talking to them and saying like, hi, I'm friendly. Let's talk. Tell me your things. Oh, hey, you got a fight coming up? Go get them. You can do it, Tiger. So you're still in your baby. You're in your white belt.
Very black
phase.
and white. Yes.
So this dude, when he comes over and he gives you a harder degree difficulty moment where it's like, hey, I'm going to hit on you. And you go, yay. And then you wonder, you go, wait, why did TikTok just kick me out? What's happening here? So the weird part to me is that the fact, I don't know if he reported you. It felt like he might have. And you know what the weird part is? You don't know if that dude was actually gay, because it might just be somebody baiting you. You don't know who's there. So you don't know if they're just trying to do that. So I think it's less thinking like, oh, hey, some dude did this. I think it's provoke and response, because trolls suck and they do have the time. So something to think about there, sir.
Yeah. I think I'm thinking of it in too simple of a way, and you just created, like you always do, another level. There's a layer that I don't see, the fourth dimension that I'm not a part of, but Raph is a part of. Raph is a creator of the fourth dimension, and I just want you guys to know that.
All
and
right.
by the way, don't we have to do, what did we talk about that one time? We need to do my first debate lesson or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get into that. You were very excited because you were like legitimately off air talking about it. Like, tell me about your debate experience. I was like, I'm happy to do it. And like, I think you have the right temperament. You just need to be a little refined because.
Bro, I'm an MMA fighter. I get punched in the face all the time. I'm not cut out for it. I don't think I'm cut out for it. But you're saying that I have the right temperament. I don't even know what temperament means. So let me come clean there. I don't know what temperament means.
Here's what it is. The reason why I think we work well is because I know I can roast you and that you'll have fun with it.
I'm not having fun.
Not yet.
Okay.
But maybe you should.
When you start roasting me, I'm going to have fun, I think.
Okay. I mean, fair. I mean, let's start with this. So I was happy to see you at Subversiv.
We're just going at it.
Yeah, we're going straight to it. I'm not even going to talk about your fight. We're just going to go into my grievances. This is literally Festivus right now. All right. So when I saw you at Subversiv, I sent you a note and I said, hey man, are you still here? Because I was about to finish up and I always try to see my people. The problem is I'm in a booth. So I figure you got to go up there and do a pose. And you're like, hey man, I might have to leave because I got to catch a train. Do you understand that I thought the amount of bullshit you were spitting at that moment was so high because I go, who's getting on a train at 10:30 at night, 10:45 at night? Yeah. And lo and behold, on your Instagram stories, it was you on a train. But I digress. That could still be a fake. So I don't know. But I did laugh really hard. And you did end up staying to do the photo op. But I was going to be so pissed if you left before the photo op.
You have no idea how annoying that train ride was. I had a festering staph infection in my knee all day. I show up with jeans on. I have a puddle, leaking out of my blue jeans, and I see it, and I'm like, oh, fuck, Marcus Perez is going to touch that. I can't give him stuff. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a raging staph infection at Subversiv. I have to go talk shit when it's all said and done. And then, and then on the train ride all the way back, I'm like throbbing the waist all the way down the waist. Like, that was terrible.
So I loved that my crew told me, because I go, hey, do we have eyes on Orozco? And they go, yeah. And I go, what's his deal? Is he leaving or is he here? And they go, he may have a train to catch. I was like, that's bullshit. You keep him in his goddamn seat and you tell me he has to do this photo op. And, I do feel a little bit bad on it, but I was right because it was a good photo op. And in fact, people were filming you going up to people. So what was happening at the end of Subversiv when all we wanted was just a simple little face-off photo that could plug us for the next one? And here I see, well, stay on that camera one.
Yeah, what had happened was Alex Groms, what's his last name?
Alex Grandy.
Alex Grandy. Whatever. The son of my teammate, Marcus Perez, essentially was peacocking, right? I got that word from you. He was peacocking because he just won in front of a huge crowd. That's what happens. But then he saw his father walk up, Marcus Perez, and he's been getting some hair on his chest, so he started to chirp at Marcus. While Marcus has the belt on his shoulder, I have the belt on my shoulder. We're feeling ourselves as well. We finally get the spotlight. So we start chirping back, pointing fingers, and it just escalated from there. I threatened him, and I told him I was going to take his back. I was going to go against him and take him out myself, even though he's in the weight class above. It was a movie.
Okay, so in this scenario, who started that? Did you start it or did he start it? And how did he or you start this?
I wasn't being spoken to at all. It was really Marcus and Alex going at it. And then I walk up and I was done listening to someone roast my teammate. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'll fucking take you out myself. You want to go club for club? Let's go. I'll take you out, buddy. And then from there, I said that. I told him I'd slap him. I told him that he was my teammate's son. It was just, it was decorated language going on. Mm-hmm. Alex's brother was like, fuck you from the back. And it was just, yeah. It was fun.
Let me just show you, because I think I'm not explaining this well to the people for my perspective, but I'm in back.
Yeah.
I'm in the booth, and they're waiting on me to call the end of the show. And so I literally just hear them go, "Hey, Raph, are we done here?"
No.
They go, "What's happening?" Let them cook. And I had that moment with Ken Watanabe when he sees Godzilla about to go ape shit with King Kong, and people are like, "No, let them fight. Let them fight." And I say this because I know you're both professionals. I know both of you. You're both friends of the show.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, Alex gave me fight shorts, and I ain't got shit here. So I'm just saying, if I'm not, we're ranking either of you.
Yeah.
But like, Alex has your same ability to play up to a crowd. So you had a game scene partner here that was also going to chirp back at you.
Yeah.
And I was just confused as to how it started, why it was going on. But then I just said, well, if it's going on, I didn't provoke it. Keep the camera on them. And everybody came up to me afterwards, like, "Did you see what happened?" I was like, "Of course I did. I'm watching on all the cameras. I called for it to be done when it was done."
Yeah.
Here's where things get not sad, but just kind of like, all right, womp womp. So finally, take off, shake hands, thank my crew. I look up, I was like, all right, let me go see if Orozco's still here. And I saw Marcus, and I was like, "Hey, did you see Orozco?" He's like, "He just left for the train." I was like, "They're still sticking with that lie? Is that what we're doing right now?" So once I saw the actual Instagram of you on the train, I go, "This motherfucker really found a train." So the one thing I want to pose to you, and maybe people didn't think about this. I don't know. I don't know what the situation was. Nobody could give you a ride back?
I'm just not as like popping as you may think I am. I don't know. Like, I don't know what that even means. Like, I knew 4 people there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not some type of superstar. I was paid $30 to get up there on the train, and I paid $30 to get down, and I wasn't going to waste that $30. You know what I mean?
You know, that makes sense to me. It was just when I was in my rage-filled anger.
Yeah.
I went into this thing, and then I got off it, and then I go, "Yeah, I didn't see Orozco. I went to go try to, just say, hey, thanks for coming. Appreciate you, brother." And then instead somebody goes, "Well, he left." And I go, "Fucker." And they go, "Why didn't he just get a ride?" I was like, "Oh, that just made me angrier." No. Oh, we know people here. We would have just drive him back.
Yeah.
So I thought we could have made that happen. So.
Yeah, we could have, but I didn't have you like on speed dial at the time, but we could have made it happen because I think there's a lot of coworkers of yours that live in San Diego.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of people based out there. But here's the good news. The next Subversiv
is in my backyard.
As of right now, hold on. Just don't quote me. But we say we know exactly what's happening. But yes, the next Subversiv right now looks like it's taking place sometime in early September. What do we expect from this? Are we expecting you to suddenly be fat and go up a weight class now, and then you and Alex are going to have your out? Or are we just staying where we are because you already got plans? Now you got to, defend a title?
Yeah, I'm staying in my lane. I'm going against Steven Martinez at the next Subversiv. Whenever it does happen, just got my eyes set on the combat part of it. I feel like I had 2 matches last time at Subversiv. One was I was really going for the knockout, and then that left me with really hurt palms. So into the second match, it was just pure jiu-jitsu. And as you know, like, combat jiu-jitsu is a really good middle ground for MMA fighters. And I've gone further into my MMA career. So now I'm seeing more jiu-jitsu / combat in there. It's probably going to be the best display of combat jiu-jitsu we've seen out of Subversiv. So I'm excited for that. Okay. And I really want to rattle Steven because Steven's a really humble, chill guy. And I feel like, honestly, he could be used, like, isn't he a commoner? Right? Like, I'm going to do what I do to the commoners at my local gym to him. Give him rattle him with the slaps. And see what that gets me.
God bless. Good luck on that.
He's a beast.
He's
I respect him so much.
No, I know what you're doing, and I'm not going to stop any of it. It's just, well, here's what I will say.
It's what I can do. I can't pure sport out jiu-jitsu him. So you know what I need to do.
Yeah. You do what you need to do. Listen,
slap neeks.
Steven's a homie. He's what I call pressure goals.
Pressure
when I rolled
goals
with him a long time ago. He just had excellent pressure, and it was funny because I went to a seminar of his, and he was just showing something, and he was like, "Yeah, you just put the pressure like this," and I go, sir, our pressures are different.
Nice.
I'm gonna try, but like it's not gonna be the same. And I show him it, and he's like, well, and you could tell he wants to say like that's not it, but he goes, you know what, good enough, good job. And I go, thanks, Steve. So no,
I knew you were tight with the ops. That's why I couldn't roll with you today.
Fuck off, dude.
I knew you were tight with the
What
ops.
do you think I'm gonna go? You think I'm gonna text him and tell him?
I think
what
you're gonna have perspective at that point, and you're gonna make a decision, and it's gonna influence the fourth dimension, and you're gonna pull strings. And I'm not with that.
You just said the fourth dimension.
Yeah, Raph is remember you're the fourth dimension, like one of the fourth dimension creators.
Okay. Let me point this out to you. First of all, I don't think Steven Martinez would even take notes from me if I had them. Number two, even though we go back, I'm an observer. I am Switzerland when it comes to jiu-jitsu and this. Like, I just want to see all my people have good matches.
Yeah.
Having said why is this so obscenely stupid though? The fact that like when people have the jugs, you do realize how absurd it looks in the interview to take a moment to drink from this giant
glug 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 glug.
I'm just gonna wait. I'm not even gonna say things anymore. I'm gonna wait until you're done here.
Yummy.
Steve Martinez, homie, homie. Even if I could replicate it, I want to tell you one thing. Producer's discretion. So that means I do have the ability to influence if I wanted to, but I don't. So still a stand-up person. I think you mostly just don't want to roll because A, lazy, B, wah, C, the sushi also was sitting bad with you.
That's funny.
And D, what if Steven Martinez is able to tap me out and you're not? Like, how bad would that be?
Wait, so did Steven tap you out?
I don't know.
Just give me that. What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, if you rolled, I would have told you, but you didn't. So now you don't get to know.
Why? Just say.
No.
What are you afraid of?
There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just extra leniency that I have to hold over your head.
Extra leniency? There's nothing lenient about that.
Are you sure?
No. What does leniency mean?
Leniency means you just defined it. It's just space. It's this idea that you're leaning something out. So
again, fourth dimension. He's talking about extra space that I can't see.
Fucking Christ. All right.
Hey, I'm going with it. That's the theme.
You're going with nonsense at this point. You got really high with your friends and you listened to some really good fish records and now you got some real good insight. Good job. I want to point this out.
What?
I think you and him is a fun match, so that could be very exciting. It's just how hard was it to just sit back and watch that Subversive? Because you're used to, whenever you're with us, putting on a show. On this one, you were kind of like seated, but you also had just come off, your fight and whatnot, and you're getting in this world. But like, I know you want to get up there, and I know you want to be on the stage.
Yeah, I had texted Michael leading up to it a month out, a week out. I said, any spots open? And he was just not letting me. And then when I was there that day, it was basically, I'll fill in for anyone. I'm down.
Did you have your gear on you at that time?
Yeah, fully. I had my blue Hyperfly bag full of gear, and I was ready to go. I mean, yeah. That's the kind of guy I am, though. So, I want to roll when I'm watching competition go down. It's just like, there's chance for XP boost right now. Like, let me just get that. Let me just get in there.
The only thing I would say on Mike's side, because I didn't know that. If I had known that, I might have tried to pull some strings. But the only thing I will say is it's not quite like a jiu-jitsu match. Like the combat jiu-jitsu, you got medicals, you have to have all that shit cleared. That's the stuff that sucks. Like, that's the part I hate. I just like plugging in people like, you here? You don't like him? Do you want to just settle it here and just let it be? I have been famous for saying this. I said this all week at PGF. It was, don't fight for free. Every time these fools started trying to square up and there was a fight that happened off camera, I was like, what are you guys doing? They're like, man, you should have heard him. I didn't like him. And I was like, you know what? We're in one of the few sports you can do something about it. Get paid. Get paid. People will pay you for it. If you just do it for free, people not only see it for free, but then your value goes down because they go, I've already seen it.
Yeah.
Dude, you got choked out. Sucks. Womp womp. You don't deserve money now. But if you at least show up, you do one of these. Hey, I lost. But you know what? This sport's all about respect. We love each other. Great. I fucking hate you, man. But yeah, okay, great. But you got paid. So that's all I want. I just want you guys all get paid and do your thing. So that's kind of the MO of that. Yeah, man, it would have been fun to have you on, but you did just fight. So maybe we should get back into that. You were notoriously hard to match up. More on that later. Mm-hmm. But tell me about your last fight. What was unique about it? What was fun about that experience, sir?
Yeah, so the camp leading up to that fight, I had a full camp from January 15th to February 15th. I was supposed to fight February 15th in San Diego. The day of the fight, an hour before I walk in the warm-up room, no, an hour after I walk into the warm-up room, the promoter comes in and tells me the fight's not on. I'm like, I was in a whirlwind of emotion for sure. Because I had family there, everyone bought the tickets. Not only that, I wanted to fight. I wanted to get that 3-0, right? Mm. The promoter then goes on to tell me, I'll get you on the Manchester card in 2 weeks. And I'm like, ooh, okay. Like, the grass may be greener on the other side type stuff, or like, just got to trust the process, I guess. So I trust I did cut the weight, by the way. I made that weight. I made 170. And then I was required 2 weeks later to make it again, which that's the worst part of it all. The best part of it all was I got to fight in Manchester, England, got to explore that area for the first time ever. And I had a beautiful time in Manchester. The food was great. The people were great. They're cool people, right? There's studies about how those people are different though. They accept things in a different way. Like they're not the same. So it was interesting. It was a culture shock for sure. But I fought on Cage Wars 168 against a game opponent. He was 6-5. So he had 11 fights at the time. I was only 2-0. So that's 5 times the mixed martial arts experience as me. That was a tough and tall task. He kept it close. I was the biggest favorite and I didn't get the finish at all. I went 3 full 5-minute rounds with him, but it was such a great experience and I learned a lot. He exposed a lot of things because he was going to keep it close. You know what I mean? He's older. He was supposed to lose. So yeah, fought in Manchester. It was fucking sick.
Let's go backwards for a minute. Okay. So I'll tell you where I come in on this.
Where do you come in?
Well, this is my
Where do you come in?
I'm going to tell you.
What's your POV from all that?
Absolutely. I think you should know. I think it's important.
Please.
Helps to frame the parts you didn't frame.
Yeah.
And to cover some of the distance, because you literally shot through 8 weeks of time in literally 5 minutes. And I'm like, wait, hold up. We need to break these down into other questions. So the first part is this. I knew, again, we mentioned you're hard to match up. So you know when you've got a match that it took a minute to get.
Yeah.
Then you get to fight in your backyard. So here in San Diego, we're all excited. You and Bobby are on the same card. I thought that was going to be dope. I was super excited and stoked for that. And then I'm thinking, okay, when I see you guys make weight, I usually feel a little bit of relief, which is my boy made weight. We got to fight. So imagine my surprise when I see you're going live and I see your Instagram pop up and I go, oh, is somebody going to, oh, am I late? Is he fighting now? I thought it was main card. Mm-hmm. So I see that going live and I was like, he can't be going live. Is it maybe somebody from his team or his teammates being like, hey, let's follow him or do this? So I got all nervous. I look down and I see it's just you sitting down and I go, no, I know what this is. I don't like it. No. And it's you having to do the like,
love you guys. Thank you.
Guys, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Let me get the camera on this one. Guys, I'm so sorry. My opponent, things. And, I really wanted to fight in front of you. And like your heart just, it feels bad. And the one caveat they were giving you at the time was they said, maybe I can fight in Manchester in 2 weeks. That could be dope. And it was just that little bit of hope and glimmer that they gave you that I go, oh, I hope they give him that fight. Because otherwise it's going to get real sad real quick. There's going to be another Instagram live of my guy probably getting kicked off of Instagram live then too. But instead, great things happened. You got a great fight. You were able to go across the pond. So I'm trying to remember in your history, how many times have you fought like not here in the United States? Like, have you fought in foreign destinations before?
Yeah, when I was an amateur, I fought in Serbia in the IMAFs World Tournament and in Monterrey, Mexico. So I fought internationally before. Yeah.
Nice. So in this particular case, what did it feel like? Because you had to extend that camp for another 2 weeks. But the thing is, when you extend camp for 2 weeks and you were just kind of like tailored it off, there's not much more heaviness you're going to do. It's just kind of staying dialed in and tuned in. So what does that 2-week process look like then?
Well, normally at the end of the camp, you have a fight, and then the next couple of days, you have victory breakfasts. You have victory meals with friends, family. Like, you get to enjoy a win, right? And you finally got that 3-0. You've added another breadstick to the win column. This time, it was like all that hard work, and there was no climax. It sucked, and it's a POV that I now have. Now I can be ready for that and deal with it when it does happen. But the training, the gap that I had to do of training between the first one and Manchester, it was rough. I remember I had to take a couple of days off because mentally I was like, I just almost broke on. I remember a Thursday, because we're doing 2 days and it's a lot mentally. Like, I wasn't expecting to do that week of 2 days. I wasn't expecting to do the next week of 2 days. And then I just had to do them because I have a fight coming up. I have to take that shit serious, right? So I remember I really needed a break in between that. I took a long weekend, and my coaches they saw it. They saw it in me. They offered the break. I was just not. I was wearing my long face, and they gave me a break. So they blessed me with that, right? Where am I going from this?
So you're talking about how you were able to kind of come back after. So you weren't expecting to do those next 2 weeks full of 2 days. So your coaches give you probably the weekend off, and then how do you return? Because it's probably 1 week of like last little stay good, stay hot.
Yeah.
And then the next week's probably travel.
That's a good way to say it. Staying hot. It was hard to stay hot, but the next week was travel. I had to start dialing the weight back down again. Again, no carbs. Count everything you're eating. Like, how mentally taxing is that for those 2 weeks, man? It was heavy. But I got to Manchester and I linked up with Paul Reed. He's a nutritionist. He got me all my food set up. He had every meal for me from Monday till Thursday weigh-ins, and that made everything easy. So the days in Manchester were easy leading up to the fight. Then when it came fight time, I was dialed back in at that point. I mean, I'm going to fight, so you need to become a fucking lion at that point. Like, mentally, you need to forget about whatever you're worried about and turn into the man who's going to win, you know?
Let me ask about that, because when you mentioned that you turn into a lion, I don't turn into lions often when it comes to, like, I don't get like in front of, you don't see a process of me being like, hey man, we're about to go to air. Like, it's not a process for me.
Yeah.
So what does that process look like going into week of for you? How are you dialing in week of for a fight?
It's essentially, the week is a roller coaster. You see yourself getting knocked out when you close your eyes, when you're going to sleep almost every night, right? You have to, your heart rate rises. You're wasting so much energy thinking about what could happen. But you always have to remind yourself that you've put in the work. It's a classic that the game, most of the game knows nowadays. Like, you got to remind yourself, like the John Danaher way, you're confident because you put in the reps. And if you're not confident because you didn't put in the reps. So you just have to do that little mental check-in. But the heaviest part is the day of. That's when you're looking in the mirror and you really have to just narrow your vision, look in your own eyes and remind yourself you're ready, right? And then it's a constant battle that day. You're like, you can't concede. You have to be ready. You have to be the champion that you are. But the moment that I have no anxiety is when I start the warm-up. This is what I've been telling people. I feel like a lot of people haven't put words to this. When I start the warm-up and I start to feel myself and I start to get my style going, that's when the confidence flies to the roof. That's when I'm confident that no one can beat me. You're the best in the world. You're the best in the world. You're the best in the world. Coaches are saying that, like, you're being surround sound. That's being said to you. Like, oh, that's the best feeling ever when you're ready to go win that fight. Yeah. And that's how it is. That's how I turn into, I guess, a lion. I used a lion, but you just turn into him. Who like you want to be, you know what I mean? Who the UFC champ is. You turn into the champion that you are.
Yeah. I had a great moment with Andy Varela when he won, because I wanted to make him feel special when he won the PGF. I was like, hey, whoever you think he is, or you think you are, he is, and he comes in, and my man did not waste 2 seconds, but he was like literally brightened up. And then all of a sudden I was like, how's it feel to win? And he just goes, whoever the fuck you think you are, I am. And I go, my man, all right. So he's feeling himself. That status update, I saw him put that. And I thought, you know what? First of all, if there's any day you get to do that, it's on that day that you win. Like, that's your day to have that. So I tell people, I'm like, what I thought happened in that moment was I basically watched the type of stuff that he's watched, or like looked at his Instagram, and then to try and tailor it to him, gave him that moment and was like, hey man, I think you might like this. I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, then we just ignore it. But if I'm right, then I'm really right. And when he's putting it up as his status update, it's like, bingo, hit the right jackpot on that one. So like, whatever it is, when you say you're him, it's like, you better believe you're fucking him. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it has physical implications for you if you don't act like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a tightrope. It's then, like in those moments, I tell our guys who fight or compete, I tell them, like, you have my full support. And then the day after, you're back to like the guy who I'm going to roast. Like, yeah. Maybe even depending on the person right after their fight.
Yeah.
Because I've had people who have won. They're like, how'd I do? And I was like, we'll talk. Like, but I won. You did.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
I think I like the accountability that, like, if you were doing that to me, because if we got to talk, that means you're going to help me out and correct some stuff, which I had to do after fighting that experienced guy. Like, there's a lot of holes in the game, but oh my God, I learned so much. And this camp, I patched all those holes, and now I feel like double the fighter.
Okay. So I want to tell you what I was seeing, and we'll watch the fight later for, people who pay. But what I did notice, and I think I sent Bobby this note a little bit later, is I was like, dude, you kept letting this dude get up. Like, you kept like signaling, like, go ahead and get up. And I thought about it. I put myself in that dude's shoes. I was like, I don't think I want to. Like, I think at that point, I've kind of figured it out. Like, nope, up is bad.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay here. Fuck you. You come down here now. And I had a real moment where I don't know him. I have no idea what he's about. But I sympathize with him for that moment, because I go, yeah, if he was just being that on top of all of my game and you keep inviting him to come up, I go, why would I take the invitation? Fuck this. Decline. No RSVP. Take that back, sir. So I just remembered laughing really hard. Like, every time I saw you kind of waving it up, and I go, dude, they're going to have enough to have a montage of you like standing him up. Lo and behold, a couple days later, there it is, you doing that. So even though I'm sure there's always stuff to fix, I still thought, hey man, your moment wasn't a knockout. It was being so on top of somebody that it felt like it was that much of a defeat for them. So in that, yes, there's going to be stuff to fix, but I was like, yo, it was still pretty dominant. It was still pretty good. So you should take that into consideration when you look back at that fight.
Yeah, I do. I think he passed the torch for me too. I love that I fought someone experienced.
Yeah.
That passing of the torch, like a veteran giving game to a youngster, that's such a part of my story too. Like, that's how I recap that fight. You know what I mean? I fought the two guys before that. We were the same type of prospect, 1-0, 2-0. Both of us were 1-0 going into it, 2-0 going into the second one. This guy, this was a crazy storyline. Like, 5 times the experience as me, and I took it to him. That's pretty nuts.
That's a good place to be.
It's a good place to be, and I think I earned a lot of respect from a lot of people that watched it.
They should, man. I mean, like I said, it just prolonged my viewing, so it was just kind of like wait, what time do I have to watch this? Is he on Manchester time or real people time?
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know that I'm going to stay up for this. And I don't know when it aired, but I think I was pretty in real time, and I just remembered kind of scrolling at it. And then once I felt like you won, my brain checked out, because I was like, he's won this. Like, okay, we're good. And all I did was I just kind of took the phone and just put it up against something. I just go, We'll just keep eyes on it. I'm pretty sure I know how this is going.
So you didn't watch the full fight, bro? What the
100%
hell?
watch the full fight. I just had to clean some dishes, bro. Like, let me live.
That's fair. That's
like,
fair.
I like that you're telling me, like, so you didn't watch my.
Well,
whole
all I
fight?
know is I just need to be more exciting now. I need to make sure.
You're normally very excited.
I need to make sure dishes cannot be done during the fight.
God,
Bro's doing chores during the fight. During my fight. Wow. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, just be glad I watched.
I should have let that one marinate. I know. I'm glad you watched. Thank you for watching.
You're welcome. I always watch and I support.
Are you going to be watching June 7th?
Well, it depends. Do you have a partner?
I don't have a coworker. I do not have a coworker yet. I do not have a coworker.
I love the fact that you're like, oh yeah, Raph, how about this? Do you watch on June 7th? Yeah, if you fight. Oh, shit. So let's talk about that. Hard to match you up. Guess what? It's proving hard to match you up again. Here we are about 3 weeks out, and we don't know for sure if you have a dance partner on this. When we talk about mentality, like how are you staying so consistent? Especially when I'm a person, when I know an opponent, I like to game plan them and have at least a game plan that works as an outline, as a definition. Yeah. This is you just basically going up against shadow figure player TBD in a video game where they're like mystery fighters. So how does that work for you for that long term of both a camp and just kind of like a consistent thing that you've had to go up against?
Mm-hmm. I'm really just looking, because I'm so tight with Cage Warriors, I think if I don't get a fight here, I'll get a fight on the next card. So I'm not really thinking of this as like an end all be all date. I'm just looking to get as ready as I can by that date. Yeah. Right. Working on my skills. Hopefully I'm going to have everything in line by then. I already do have everything in line right now. So yeah, just like looking past the date. Like this isn't the UFC title for me. You know what I mean? I'm gunning for the top. So this is just a natural progression. Like this is just month of May. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'll say one thing, which is I feel like after you didn't get to fight in front of your friends and family here, that's what I'm pulling for here. Like that you do get the opportunity to do that here, because I had a recent friend. I was actually going to be on the commentary team and he was going to fight. Mm-hmm. And so obviously I'm not cornering him when that happens, but he and I put in work like a week before. I was like, hey man, I can't be in your corner, but I can physically get you ready a week and a half out. Like you and I are going to, I was like, we have a centralized session, me and you, and we're going to work. And he's like, all right. I go, that's my way I'm sending you off.
Sick.
I can't be there with you. And I'm also going to be the guy commentating on your match. And I have to be objective. Mm-hmm. So if you suck, I kind of have to say you suck, but in a nice way. And he just goes, no. He goes, I would never be mad at anything you do. So I was like, cool. We put in this work. I show up to the venue. And when you show up at the venue, you don't get the card, especially for amateur cards. You don't get the card like a day before. You get it when you show up.
Yeah.
On my desk, his name was crossed out. And I immediately went into, nobody told me yet. And they figured I would find out here. And I start thinking, I'm not going to see any of our team here. I'm not going to see my friends here. Oh, man. And then I immediately think about him and I go, I hope he's okay. I don't know the story. And then you start doing research and you find out all the reasons and blah, blah, blah. But you know the phone calls that guy has to make.
Bro,
to people.
So irritating. Like, I felt so bad for everyone that had pulled up to watch. Everyone that, maybe family members that didn't have Instagram or didn't know how to work it, you know, like they're watching the card and then all of a sudden I'm not there, popping up on the main card and they're like, what the heck? Yeah, it's difficult for not only me, but like everyone else.
Yeah.
Who's looking to watch me.
I mean, you're exciting. So they want to see a good fighter. They want to see you bang, bro. Like they want to see you go. So it is an unfortunate thing. So that's my one wish, is that we make up for what was supposed to be February. Mm-hmm. We get that next shot, because I mean, you've seen the schedule before. San Diego's been very good to Cage Warriors. So they do come here a bit. But you know that sometimes when you miss the one card, you go, when are you guys coming back?
Yeah.
You guys coming back this year? Or do I have to wait a full year before you get another San Diego card? So I was at least stoked to see they were coming back that soon. obviously you have to be a top prospect for them to come back for. So
Yeah.
I was very, very much hoping that you would have an opponent. So imagine my surprise as I'm setting all of this up over here. And you're just like, yeah, I mean, June 7th, if I got someone, I go, oh, don't do this to me again, dude. My heart can't take all this.
It's actually my 1 year anniversary, pro debut anniversary, June 7th.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. I'm praying I get that opponent.
Yeah, man.
Because I debuted June 2nd at Cage Warriors at Saquon Casino exactly a year ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you feel like you have most improved upon in that year of being a pro?
Probably it's hard to conceptualize like all the experience that I've gotten, but mostly being able to tell what will work and what won't work, especially with my gifts. Like before, I could have tried the jab high kick. I could have tried the right hand back leg high kick type shit. But now I have a deeper understanding of what my style can do, right? I don't know if you've had this revelation as well, but that's basically, I think, what it is. I have a better filter for what will work for me and what won't work for me. And I do the reps on the things that have worked. So it's just really developing Anthony Orozco's style. I feel like that might have been the answer last time too, but that's really what happens. That's really how it works.
I get that. I go through phases of finding new stuff. And then as you get older, some stuff doesn't work as well. Or you go like, oh, my body's changed or this. I don't do this as well. So it's almost like sometimes you shed a part of your skin that's like old and you go like, oh, that was the old game. So now I don't do as much of that. And then you start doing new stuff. So my favorite thing is just I try to be open to being surprised. Is that when I have to make modifications, because I'll be like, go gadget arm. Uh-oh, that was pretty slow. Yikes, we don't need that anymore. Go gadget leg. Nope, that's the arm. That's not the leg. Body, what are we doing now? And then all of a sudden something happens that you do almost by accident and you go, oh, where did this come from? I didn't have this. And I've told my students, I go, what ends up happening is the stuff that you drilled, that you said, this will never work for me, not my body type, it goes in waves. So sometimes you drill it and then it manifests 2 years later.
Yeah.
Where you go, oh, I have it now. I was missing a detail, or my body now is to the point where it's matched up. So this week I was teaching my students triangles and I was like, listen, I am not the body type for a triangle, but I know when it works. And most of it's angles and all this. So you're talking with these young kids who are like, I can't do it because I don't know how and you don't. And I go, for the love of God, is that a 90-degree angle? No, I don't know what an angle is, but I know I do the thing. And I go, what is this? Oh, 45? What is yours? Oh. You go, yeah, just bring a leg. Angle, dude. Just make the angle work even if you aren't flexible. Just try that. And it may not always work 90%, may not work 100%, but you're going to find that it works a lot better. So my favorite is seeing like the new student who just came in and they get it. They give you this look like, oh, I got it. And I go, oh man, I hope he doesn't make them feel like idiots. Because even some of my OG students were like, I don't know. And I go, shh. Watch the new guy. The new guy's got it. You
always do that voice when you describe your
students? Sometimes I pick different voices. So it depends. I've always been somebody who does impressions.
Wait, can I get the camera real quick?
Yeah, please go right ahead.
Yeah, here. Everyone, let's take a drink.
All
right. That's interesting though that you do that voice for your students.
I do different
voices. But you're in LA,
yeah?
Because what is that voice?
What is that voice?
That sounds southern.
It is, so it's a little southern, but...
Because did you see how I was animating it?
I saw that. You looked like a prospector there for a split second. The voice I do is, do you ever see the old G.I. Joe PSAs?
Bro, all these references, no.
Okay, first of all.
But I watched the Hulk the other night. You might like that. The
You
old
mean
school one.
The old school, the 2000s Hulk?
Yeah, with the three dogs, like one poodle.
I hated that one.
You hated it?
I hated that one.
For me, it was just more of a comfort when I was watching it last
Okay,
night.
that's fine.
You know what I mean? Because I've seen it before.
And it's sad because Ang Lee directed it, and I wanted to be like, "Yay, Ang Lee!" And I go, "Oh, this is not
Bad?
good." Yeah,
That's funny. I don't even have perspective on how good it was or not.
Keep in mind now, all superheroes are saturated. So back then, that was what 2000-ish, early 2000s, maybe 2001 or 2. And at the time, we didn't have as many superhero movies, and it tried to be a little artistic. And I remember one of my friends going like, "I love the comic panels," and they do little panels in the movie, and I go, "Yeah, the movie's just kind of boring and doesn't make any sense, and I don't feel for this character." That's problematic.
Yeah.
So anyway, going back to this, there was a thing called G.I. Joe, young man. Okay, so in the 80s, action, superheroes, military. And they used to do these PSAs. And afterwards, it'd be like, stay in school, don't litter. So they'd get all the G.I. Joe characters to do them. Somewhere in the early 2000s, 2004, somebody turned those into comedy bits. So they took the same G.I. Joe PSAs, but they redid them. And it was just absurdist humor. And there was a kid in there where he'd be like, "Hey, why are you doing this?" I don't know what I do, but I do the thing that I do. And I go, for whatever reason in college, that shit made me always laugh. So I think my generic, "I don't know what I do, coach, but I try to do the thing that you had me to do." And I go, I just think it's a funny voice.
That's a good voice.
And it's also one that there's not a direct impression of the person where they can get too self-conscious.
Yeah.
As a person who does impressions, sometimes people go, "That's not accurate."
Annoying.
And then all of a sudden everybody around them goes, "Actually, it's pretty accurate." So I'm just saying.
Can you do Conor McGregor?
The only Conor
Without
McGregor,
me, this whole ship sinks. Yeah.
it's not bad. It's not bad. The only
Thanks. That's
Conor
not
I
bad.
did was "Me Mooney," and then I just thought that's funny because when he says it like that, I like it. The one that I did was the A side of that relationship was Nate Diaz. So I do a Nate Diaz. So what would you like to hear Nate Diaz say or talk about?
I don't know. I mean, you just said Nate Diaz, so I'm gonna just tell you where my brain went. Do you remember when Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz were in the interview, and then the lady was like, "All right, can you guys count us down from 10?" And then Conor was like, "Ha, Nate can't count to 5." And Nate's like, and he just goes 5. And he says, "Let's go."
I do remember that.
That was so funny.
That was a very good
He
one.
got Nate.
That whole era is not replaceable. Like it's such a funny era. Like you never get that Conor McGregor now. Like we have Conor McGregor that's in Roadhouse, and one of my friends. So they just said that they signed a sequel to Roadhouse.
Sick.
Ugh. Did you watch the Roadhouse remake?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you like it?
I just like seeing Conor. Like every time Conor showed up, my like ears perked up and I started to watch. But no, the movie was not good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the movie was nowhere near good. But every time Conor spoke, "When Knox is on the job," or what does he say? "When Knox is on the job, it's over."
Again, it's not bad. It's not bad. Let me put it to you this way.
Do you feel the same, similar to me?
What is that?
Like when Conor showed up
you have
in the
a
movie,
smile on your face.
you perked up and you wanted to watch.
No, but
Okay.
I had a thought, which was there's a movie called Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was with Ben Affleck. It
Yeah.
was like 22 years ago.
Yeah, he's wearing red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bad guy in that is Colin Farrell. He's playing a character by the name of Bullseye.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought 22 years ago, that was an absurd amount of overacting. That's Conor McGregor. Like, that is 100% the same energy.
Okay.
So if you ever watch the movie Daredevil, there's one moment where Colin Farrell, his character's name's Bullseye. You can tell because he has a giant bullseye on his fucking forehead. And at one point, he just looks over the camera. He's like, "Bullseye, bullseye." And I go, oh my God. So when Conor's like talking to characters in this movie, it's just him being like, "Here's some exposition here for you." And you go, oh my God, he's basically just moving the plot along with his dialogue, which is the worst kind of plot.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I did say, I was like, he reminds me of that, and that made me laugh. And my homie sent me a note back. He's like, "You're absolutely right." So, but what makes me sad
Yeah.
The same writer of the Roadhouse remake
Mm-hmm.
is the writer of a movie called The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. Watch that movie.
So it's good.
Very good. So it made me sad that writer was so good there, and these lines were so cheap and garbage here.
Yeah, I could see that. It kind of watered his image down to you.
Also, did you know who was supposed to be in that movie originally? You don't. But
Greta Thunberg.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
she was
sick.
right in there. She
Hell
was
yeah.
just like, hey, you get this environment under control.
Yes.
And
So I'm right.
Frown. No,
Oh.
it was Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
So it was originally pitched for Ronda Rousey. She had the rights, then got off the project.
Was Rhonda going to be
She
Knox?
was supposed to be, is it not Knox? I think she was supposed to be the main Jake Gyllenhaal character.
That would have been crazy to see Rhonda.
Ridiculous. And keep in mind, the original Roadhouse is absurd levels of nonsense
Okay.
that people were like, I was in the same boat. I was like, let's watch this and let's just laugh at it. And then I just remembered my wife came in. She goes, what's wrong with you? And I go, I'm trying to watch this movie and it's just not making me happy. And she goes, yeah. And I go, yeah, I want it to be so bad that I'm laughing, but it's just so bad that I'm angry. And she felt bad. She was like, I'm so sorry. And she like left me to my movie. She kind of did one of those things where she like pats you on the back and then just walks away. And I go, thanks, babe.
Yeah.
It was a rough day. But yeah, if you aren't doing that, so you have movies on in the background. What movies do you have on? Because I think we've decided you may not have taste in movies, but that you definitely are okay with silly or fun movies being played in the background.
In the background of what?
I don't know. You were telling me it was on in the background.
Am I doing dishes and watching
Yeah,
movies?
let's say dishes. What's your movie? What's your go-to movie?
Am
If
I
you're just trying to do stuff?
multitasking like you when I should be watching the movie full-fledged, like fully focused? I'd say I like just funny movies, like dumb movies, you know?
Okay.
Like, what's this most recent one I watched? I'm like, Step Brothers, I think it's called. No, I like Step Brothers a lot.
Brothers is great.
I like The Anchorman. I like, is it cheesy to go like Pulp Fiction?
I don't know. That's
I
good.
love Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction's really good.
But again, I don't have taste. I don't have developed taste in movies
know, we know
because
that.
I'm a MMA fighter. Like
It's not even that. It's
I just am an exotic animal when it comes to that. I'm exotic when it comes to the art of martial arts.
I think what you were alluding to earlier is when you were like, "What do we?"
And living life.
What's happening?
Like I like rip sticking.
Hold on.
You can ask me about rip sticking.
I
You can
will
ask me
in a
about
second.
surfing, cliff jumping.
Hold on. We need to.
But you're gonna judge me on my
we need
opinions
to bring
on
in some
movies.
of these ADHD tendencies. First of all, how did that happen? What did you do here? Why do you have the color code that I have for these things? You basically made it a ring, and I go,
Bro,
what's happening?
ADHD.
Yeah.
ADHD bad.
No, but then you were doing. What were you doing with this? Why was this
I was
moving
just
around?
squeezing. I was just squeezing it. And
It
then-
wasn't even the squeezing. The squeezing wasn't the problem. It's now when you were starting to checkerboard it.
What about this? I'm like putting my hands here every now and
That's
then.
okay.
I'm like
I'll tell you
this.
the one that almost got my OCD. It almost prompted me to maybe say something.
The angle of this.
Nah,
What?
you're still pretty good because I can hear you here.
Okay, what?
It was when you started talking to me like off air, and we were like, yeah. Anyways, tell me a little bit about your life, Raph. Okay. That's
Oh, I
totally
was
cool.
doing this one.
You were doing this, and you're putting it all around, and I was like, bro, you need to put that back on. It's a windshield. It makes sure if you use a P or an S, it kind of suppresses that. But you took it off, and then you put it back on the thing, and I go, oh, thank God. Okay, my OCD was kicking when you were doing that.
I was doing it over and over too.
You really were. And I thought as long as it stays on in the interview, we're good.
Yeah.
And then you took it again. You have to just give me this back at this
I'm
point.
probably gonna break it on accident. So take
Bro, it's not even that you're going to break it. It's just that I know you're literally fidgeting with it. So I want you to focus.
it. Is that a sign of ADHD?
It kind of is, man.
Okay. The other clear sign of ADHD for me is I will have a task to do. Like, okay, go get your water bottle in the room.
Okay.
I'll walk to the room and I'll see the clothes that I didn't fold. I'm like, fuck, let me fold that real quick. And then I'm like, oh, look at this string that I took out of my shoe to use as a belt. Let me go put that in the shoe. Didn't fold. And then maybe I'll fold the shorts. Maybe I won't. But I for sure forgot the water bottle. And I go back to the room where I was watching Knox. Fucking when Knox is on the job, it's over. I'll go back to the Conor McGregor Roadhouse movie. And then I'm like, fuck, I'm thirsty. Go get the water bottle.
Understood.
So I do have ADHD.
That's all right. I mean, we did.
Is it? I mean, it can't be wrong.
No, I mean, it's a livable thing.
Yeah.
You can work with it.
Yeah.
I guess my question for you is this.
What's up? Do you have ADHD tendencies? Sometimes?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I think mine are very like, I'm working on a project and I want to go to a new project. So if I start something, I want to make sure I have to focus to make sure that one gets done. Because as a creative, you just want to do and go. So you just want to go like, all right, I did that. Now on to the next one. And somebody goes, cool, you got to edit it. And I go, I don't want to. And the person is usually me because no one edits this shit. I edit it. So that's why I like doing it live to tape. So that's why you see all these fancy things happen live. This does a lot of the work when you do it live. Yeah. And I feel you. The only times where it becomes a little problematic is if a guest is on like a remote and then all of a sudden the connection dies. And then I have to make a note like on here, like, go fucking edit that later at the 1 minute mark. Go edit this or, so sometimes when people are like, where's my interview? And I go, I gotta fix it.
Remember when you cut out, buddy? Remember when your Wi-Fi you weren't prepared with the best Wi-Fi, the best ping?
There's a couple guys who sometimes speak really low when I go, hey, make sure you project when you talk and make sure the microphone's pointed at you. And they go, got it. And I really enjoyed being.
Someone was talking so low today and it was just pissing me off. It's pissing me off. I was like, why are you talking like that?
I think when you're on a show, just project a little. That's all. Yeah. The worst case scenario is I'll see it here and I turn it down. But I usually try to monitor a little bit of everything to make sure the levels are good. I would say this, though. The thing I was going to ask you is, what do you think of this? Okay, so stay with me. Mm-hmm. Hey, so welcome to... Oh, wait, hold on. Where is it? It's almost there. Hold on. Yo, what's up? You guys got a reservation for Roadhouse? If you guys want to come to Roadhouse, you got to, like, talk to me and shit. And, like, you guys aren't on the guest list, so, like, if you guys want to come in, you're going to get ass beat, but, like, it's probably going to be my brother doing it.
Bro, that was fire.
Thank you.
That was fire. That was excellent.
Thank you. So, yeah, that's why I don't try to do impressions of my students.
That was so good.
Because when they're on, it can be a little self-conscious. And I've been told by certain people who know Nate Diaz that they don't like that impression. And I was like, really? And they're like, you just be a little more respectful. And I'm like, I like him.
Lame.
And I go, listen, dude, it's not saying like,
what the hell?
It's not saying like, I'm a gangbang. I'm gonna break some tires and I'm gonna beat this midget. Like, it's not any of that stuff. It's just me being like, just say some funny stuff in his voice.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you gotta be real disrespectful. Like, it's really bad. So I just tell people, I'm like, unless I hear it from the person themselves, and if that is the case, there is a high likelihood I think you would try and slap me. But would I stop from doing it? Probably not. I think I'd still do it.
No, you'd probably do it more.
I would say this.
Probably do it more if Nate Diaz got mad at you for it.
I mean, it's good for clout, but I think of it like this. Right. I have a policy on my show, which is if I do a joke, I would do it to your face. And it's a policy I've had for 12 years. And yeah, I've done jokes, and that's why I like doing it in person, because there's always like a hint of, I'm making fun of you right next to you. That could go sideways. And most people are professional. Nobody's really going to do anything, but it's playful. So it's just a way of being like, hey, we're just playing. We're doing this. I don't think I would ever do it maliciously to hurt somebody's feelings. And you guys get punched in the face, so I think you probably endure more than just
grow up. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get punched in the face for a living.
So yeah. So anyway, so that was something that happened, and yeah.
Have you watched? Well, the first time I ever watched any glimpse of the Rocky movies, was recently.
Okay.
And I didn't realize he sounded kind of like CTE.
He does. But
what's it called? The minister. Ayo, priest. I just wanted to know if you can maybe give my boy a blessing, because he's got a fight coming up, and I just want to make sure he's good and all that. You know what I mean?
So is this Sylvester Stallone you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that good?
No, but
hey yo, deeper.
A baby.
Hey yo, minister, can you give my boy a blessing? I got a fight coming up, and I just want to make sure I'm good. Just give me a blessing. Give him a blessing.
when you do,
Yeah, he sounded kind of CTE.
So here's the sad part. Okay?
So that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
If I displayed that or not.
Yeah, I don't think
let's forget about that if you didn't like it. But let's just know the point is he doesn't sound like he doesn't sound well spoken. Sounds like me.
Hey, you're different leagues. Let's put it that way. Hey, what is it? What did you just?
I don't know. I just ended it like that.
You did a PR to the
ADHD.
Well, let me just say this. So Sylvester Stallone was born with like a kind of deformity here. So this is true. This is a real thing.
So I'm ableist.
I mean, we're just trying to tell you so that you don't TikTok again. So that's why he kind of, you got one of these, when you dog is just right there, right? So
that was decent.
It's not bad.
That was pretty good.
But we call them tuning forks. So like if you're doing Christopher Walken, the tuning fork word or trigger word is like, wow. And then you go into Christopher Walken speak. So every big celebrity should have a trigger one.
Bro,
the Sylvester
that's
Stallone
so
one
smart.
is, hey, yo, hey, and then you go into that and you kind of ride that little wave of how he does his stuff.
The trigger.
So,
what's the word? A ketone? What'd you call it?
Trigger word. So it's almost like a tuning fork.
Tuning fork.
Yeah.
Ketone.
So when I hear it, it's almost sometimes music to me. So I just try to find like, okay, what's this person? So I used to do like a Sean Connery. When I do a Sean Connery, are you familiar with Sean Connery? Do you know who he is?
Another reference? No.
Man, okay. He's one of the best. He was a James Bond. He was the first James Bond. So back before Daniel Craig, he was the guy.
Cool.
He was great. But when he spoke, it was in this voice. And it was very serious. And he actually won an Academy Award for a movie called The Untouchables. And he had a very distinguished voice. So what you do is, his trigger word is, but of course. Because in a movie called, let's say it's Goldfinger, one of these things, this is in the 60s, mind you.
Bluefinger.
Nope.
Goldfinger, Bluefinger.
Goldfinger. Good. Stay with me right here. Use your words. Okay, cool. In this movie, there's a character that goes up. And so, the Austin Powers series, right? How they have those very sexualized jokes. They're based in reality because in the James Bond movie, a woman comes up and she goes, "My name's Pussy Galore." And he goes, "Of course you are." And like, it's the perfect womp womp, like right back because it's the absurdity of, "I'm sorry, ma'am, what's your name?" Instead of playing it that way. And it's just him underplaying it. So that's a little thing. So you should go watch the James Bond movies. They're incredibly dated, but they do have a charm to them.
Okay. Well, I will. Can you do Bane?
Oh man, I can. I just felt like
I was born in the darkness.
That's not bad.
I was born in the dark.
That's the better one.
What is it? I was born in the darkness. You merely merely adopted the dark. The shadows.
Oh no, you have it and you're losing it, so you gotta.
The shadows. They betray you. The shadows.
You know what this vaguely sounds like in my ears? It vaguely sounds like.
Yeah, I wanted you to close your eyes. You were looking at me, and I don't look like Bane, so it's probably.
No, I know. You really don't, and you don't fight like him. But when I hear it just isolated here, it sounds like they gave the PA system to a disgruntled worker at a supermarket that's just like, "Oh, of course you are," and people are like, "What is he doing? Like, leave that."
Okay.
Let's start to circle here because I do know that now we're getting into the impressions part. People may not be here for that part, but if they did make it this far, God bless. I do want to get into this, which is what are people going to expect from seeing you at Subversiv? Because again, we're going to see you fight June 7th, so excited for that. But for us, I get to produce that show. So this is really one of the few times I get to talk with you about Subversiv before I go back in the booth and nobody sees me. Yeah. So tell the people right over here, what can they expect to see from you come this Subversiv this fall?
You can just expect, there's promo talk and all that, but really I'm just a martial artist right now. I'm just trying to really show that I put these people in positions. I know their outs, their ins and outs. And I just want to show people that I'm playing chess out there. I study the game every single day. I'm trying to build my style every single day. So I just want to begin my style on someone, and then gradually get to the finish in a beautiful manner. That's really what I want to do. What I also want to do is I want to bitch slap some of these guys. I want to bitch slap all the 170 pounders that have ever competed at Subversiv. I want to go against the Mantis. Him and I made eye contact after he subbed Steven Martinez, and I really want to go against him because he knows who I am. I know who he is. I really want to go against. I'd like to go against Kamoy again. I feel like I'd have more for him with the slaps because I had some tenderized, I had some ground beef hands when I went against him last time, and I would like to open him up and show him a thing or two. I'd like to go against the Bobbian. I think Jake Bobbian.
Yeah.
He's a fun competitor, and he likes pizzazz and wazazz and whatever the fuck. He's got some spunk, so that'd be fun. I'd like to go against King Bao. I think they're all exciting matches. We have a very exciting pool of guys at 170, so I'd like to slap them all.
You're happy to step in on a moment.
Or is it 185? It's 185. I'd like to slap them all at 185.
You like to slap everybody at 185.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, noted. I can pass that on to people.
Yeah, obviously. But until then, you know what I have to do. You know who I have to focus on?
What?
Steven Martinez.
That's true. That is the goal at hand right now.
And Steven's so nice, so it's like, I'm gonna slap Steven Martinez. Oh fuck, I don't want to say that, but I do want to slap him. I want to slap Nikan.
It's tough. I mean, the weird part that I also know about Steven is you won't say enough to phase him in
That's
that
good.
way.
Well, that's good.
So like he's
stoic.
He's a very old school, like, nah man, I'm just here to do my job. Let's go out there. Let's be gentlemen about that. Like, he is very cool. Now, granted, warrior as well, Bellator fighter, very solid, really fun all around. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that maybe it could happen. So you never know. Anyway, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing you back there. And yeah, I mean, dude, here's the nice part is you're going to come, you're going to compete for us, and we'll get to see what fun things await you from there. I can tell you just one small update I did get on my my Instagram while we were doing this. Apparently, they moved the date for Nate Diaz versus Masvidal in the time that we were talking, and now the fight is going to be at the Honda Center here in Anaheim.
Oh, okay.
So that fight that everybody goes, why are they fighting? That's why that's happening there. I just like that.
Cool.
This is like news that Nate Diaz put up because I go, oh shit, this must have heard me say Nate Diaz because now it's the first thing I see on my Instagram when I check that.
Nice.
So good news.
You know who I also want to go compete against at Subversiv? There was this guy who was talking about, black belts don't want to fight me because I'm a purple belt. And I want to know if he's down to fight a lower belt rank. I'm a blue belt. So I'd like to fight J-Rod.
Okay.
I'd like to see if he's in the other person's shoes, if he'll take a match against someone below him as far as the belt rank. Again, he doesn't see belt ranks. He said, I don't see belt rank really either, but I'd like to smack him up. I think personally, he might not be the most technical, and maybe I might not be the most technical, so that's a compelling fight. I don't really want to go against the guys who fucking are leg lock fiends who want to smell my feet, because those guys, that's just a different game, like all around. Like I'm in there looking to slap, right? I'm looking to, I like that style of jiu-jitsu. I'm not good at the leg lock game, truthfully. So I don't, you know how in MMA you can pick your fights? Mm-hmm. I'm not picking a fight against a guy that I don't want to fight. So I don't really want to fight these leg lockers. I want to fight someone who's exciting. Anyone from 10th Planet Vegas, I'm down. Ninja Andy Varela, he's the boy. He's my boy. We follow each other and we respect each other for sure, but he'd be a fun fight. I want to fight J-Rod though, for sure, because he said today, I don't see belts. So let's see if you don't see belts. Let's get after it.
By the way, I don't see belt color is the funniest phraseology because all I thought was, I was like, almost racist. Like, almost, like when it was like, I don't see color, bro. And I go, oh my God. I know J-Rod's good people. He loves a good scrap. More than anything, I think he likes a compelling match. Like, he wants somebody who's going to be just as fireworks as him. So I think, I think as long as you're willing to put that out there and say like, yeah, I'm willing to give a good match. I'm down. I'm game to play that insane of a game. Yeah. I think you might be surprised. I don't know. We can see if we can put the feel out. He was on Subversive before. So
yeah, I think we'd be a compelling matchup.
Okay. Noted.
Anthony Orozco versus J-Rod.
I like that you're just over here being like, I'm going to keep matchmaking here.
I'm the best matchmaker I've heard for a minute now.
You've been very good at
why have we not been putting me against all these exciting guys? Like, stop clipping my wings. Let me fly.
The reason,
UFC Fight Pass Invitational. Let's go.
That's where you want to go next too?
I'm down for that too. I'm just saying I want action, and I haven't gotten action in a minute. Like, not everyone wants to put it all on the line like I do.
I'm going to let it hold for a second so that I can clip that part out especially. And then I can end by saying, like, but he clearly hasn't taken a roll with me. So, I mean, how much can you really take that into stock? Don't bring that up, bro. No.
P's and S's. P's and S's.
P's and S's. There you go. I mean, listen, dude, we will rotate you amongst our sea of folks. But I do think you're right. I think you made some compelling matchups. And I think all of those have a certain fun element to them. Mm-hmm. Because you did mention this, and maybe we should get to the bottom of this before anything else. How are we still calling you a blue belt? Like, at what point do I need to pay somebody? Are you not taking the test? Because maybe we'll pay it for you, just so they can do that. But like, who is not belting you, sir?
Yeah, I think it's just because I don't have 3 escapes from side control and 3 escapes from mount because I'm never there.
That's good. I like that a lot. Okay, well, in the future, it'd be really dope because theoretically, I'm ranked higher than you, and I don't know how I feel about that. So
you're probably more technical. Like I said, I don't have 3 side escapes, and I don't have 3 mount escapes. I have 2.
They work in much higher degrees, I guess one would argue. All right, dude. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we put a pin on this, and I'll queue up your fight, and we'll watch that for a separate video. But yeah, I think it's gonna do it for us. Plug your shit. Look right there. That's your camera.
Nothing to plug. I drive a Toyota Corolla 2006. I'm poor, but you know what? We're climbing the ranks. No one really wants to work with me yet because I'm not able to make anyone money yet. When I'm able to make people fat stacks of racks, then yeah.
Oh, I know what we should talk about.
What's up?
Tell me about this gym. Where am I? What is this?
That's crazy. Yeah. This is
great.
Nuts.
I love this place, by the way.
This is called the MMA Academy, and I have a bunch of professional teammates. I live in a house with a bunch of professional MMA fighters, and we're just in here day in and day out, 2 days like I've been alluding to, and we're just getting better under the same manager. So it's just a fucking, essentially, whatever you'd call that.
I mean, this gym.
What would you call that?
I would call it.
Give me some colorful lingo.
Well, first of all, it's an amazing looking gym.
It's
so
so
the fact that you have so much space for cage work up here, you got a giant mat space down there. So I'm a huge fan of seeing that out there. Full workout facility on both sides, so you can get in like actual. You're back to the jug again. I like that. Like just this giant water bottle is almost. So you got the pH 10. Why the pH 10? You don't know?
No.
Okay, fair enough. I thought I would ask. Not a thing.
Thank you for asking.
All right. Well, my man here is gonna now watch a fight with me in a second, but I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Anthony, you're always really fun to talk to. I'm glad I was able to. Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing at. I said, nothing to plug.
Well, yeah, because I tried to help you out. I was like, do you have any sponsors that you want to take care of?
No. MMA Academy. They are like. I mean, they're giving me the life that I have, so.
There you go.
MMA Academy.
See, look, that's all it had to take. And you'll notice that even when you weren't plugging the gym, I was like, hey, tell me about the gym, guy. And you go, oh, right, this thing?
Stockton, motherfuckers, wow. Fuck it.
Yeah, you look a little more the part than I do, unfortunately, but there is that. Anthony, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and thanks for being a great host to me here, sir.
Yep.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Before I close this on out, a couple quick reminders. First, like, comment, subscribe. Remember I told you if you didn't know what you were going to comment on by the end of the video, I can give you something to comment on here. Tell me this. If you're going to do Roadhouse 2, who is another MMA star that you would like to see in there? Because Conor McGregor's... No, not you. No, listen, we got to work on that. Conor McGregor is alive at the end of the movie? Question mark. So he could come back, but... it's likely you could franchise this out. So tell me what MMA star you'd like to see if it's not Conor. And don't say Ronda because she got out of that train wreck. So thank God. A couple other quick reminders. Patreon. You can go there. $5 a month. See the interviews 30 days before anybody else and get exclusive bonus content not available anywhere else, including tape studies, Road to ADCC, Roast Rap, where people roast my competition footage, and extra bonus content that you, again, will not find anywhere else. Last but not least, are you going to drink from it again? Like literally just...
let me drink in peace,
bro,
man.
I can't do it.
Let me drink in peace,
It's that you called for it, and so now it's a recurring. So now I have to keep doing it.
I don't know.
What is?
Game it. Fuck it.
That's
Patreon, $5. See the interviews. See this interview 30 days in advance.
Yep.
Like, come on now. Let's get smart with it. We want to listen to these interviews. We want to hear Raf spew. We want to hear see if he can get pro MMA fighters out of their shell, and he does because he's a good interviewer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're gonna clip that. I'm gonna make money off of that. That's good. Last not least,
Hair review.
wait. Let's see
Should
what
we
it
get a
is.
hair review?
Let's see, bro. You know what? Maybe this was supposed to be a not hat interview.
Fuck it.
Yeah, we got to redo the whole thing now. Okay, great. When you guys go over there, you can check us out: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at Grappling Hour. Find us all at Grappling Hour, and TikTok. We're on that one too, but I don't have as many followers on that one as this guy does. This guy's got a shit ton of people.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we could plug the TikTok. I'm working on my TikTok game. So
tell the people
follow
about
me
TikTok.
on TikTok. Anthony Orozco and Leche. That's the TikTok.
You got leche at the end of it?
Orozco and Leche. Yeah. OROZCON.
Mm-hmm.
Orozco and then LECHE.
Is there any symbolism behind that?
Orozco and Leche. No, not really. It just fits with my name.
Okay.
And I'm Mexican.
Just ran out of shit to put in there, I guess. Okay.
I know. Why are like so many people follow? It's so funny.
I don't
Whatever.
know. But you know what? I'm glad they do because it just gives you business. So I'm a fan.
I mean, honestly, on the TikTok, I do breakdowns of my fights. And
you were talking
previous
about that. You
matches.
should do more of those, though.
Yeah, I do those. They're about 4 minutes long. I show like good technique that occurred. I tell a storyline. It's fun. It's fun TV. So follow me.
Facts. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.